Nando and Friends is sponsored by Jock Market. Jock Market, make real money every second of the game. Corey, Nando, and Friends, presented by Mayo Media on Bettor Sports Network.
Ryan backs the pass, throws left side into the end zone, walking in, touchdown! Mo Alley Cox, his second touchdown today. It's all tied into the red zone for the Colts. It's 24-16.
Shotgun snap. Wilson bounces in the pocket, throws the ball in the end zone. Touchdown, Denver! Back in the end zone, Cortland Sutton. A laser strike from Russell Wilson. A touchdown of 5 yards. And the Broncos, with 2:45 left in the first quarter, take the lead here in Las Vegas, 6-3.
Corey, Nando, and Friends, presented by Mayo Media.
Yes. Welcome, everybody, to Corey, Nando, and Friends here on Bettor Sports Network, presented by Mayo Media, sponsored by Jock Market. Corey, what's up, man?
Yo, Nando, what's going on? Happy Thursday. Pushing
You
to
too.
the back end of the week. You know what I'm saying? So we got football tonight, tomorrow night, Saturday, Sunday, all the way up till Monday. So we are to the fun part of the week. Had football last night. I hope everybody got a chance to tail SMU in the under. A nice little parlay that hit for you last night if you were able to tail that. So we're off to a good start. Hope to run it back tonight. And we got Cortland Sutton's playing tonight, who is like the only guy on any of my fantasy teams doing anything. So that's cool.
Dude, I had to go through today. So I went to Comic-Con today. I had to wait for the guy who I was meeting. We go in right at the crack of dawn, like right at 10, right when the doors open.
Yeah.
It's not crowded. There's nobody there yet. So you're not bumping into people. You're not stopping for guys to take pictures of the girls in costumes. But I had like 10 minutes. He was running late. So I, fixed my teams before tonight. I actually had to release heavy ones on a couple of my teams, which is a very sad moment for me because he retired. So adios. And then in another league, by the way, heavy one's Cole Beasley. But I didn't expect him to retire. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Too much
sorry.
sauce. Yeah.
I
didn't expect him to retire either. Cole Beasley can still play.
I thought he was like one of those guys like Tom Brady might have like recruited, come play for my team, come be my slot guy. You will do great things together, Cole Beasley.
Interesting.
But, I don't know. Something happened. I got to start Matt Breida this week in a 12-team league. Yeah. So wish me luck.
You first come. It might be nothing better on first come than first serve than Matt Breida.
This is my 3. I'm 3-1 in this. I think I'm like second in points scored. I got DeAndre Swift. Team, my running backs were DeAndre Swift and Cordell Patterson.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do?
You kind of replace them.
I got to start. My Robbie Anderson's my flex right now, who I think I'm going to replace.
It's not good. This team ain't going to have second most points after a while. Not with those names.
Well, I'm going to wait. I mean, we're going to see what happens with Hunter Renfrow, which I guess is a Monday night.
That'd be good.
I got DJ Chark. Everyone's got a red thing next to them. Julio Jones, DeAndre Swift, Cordell Patterson.
Everyone has that's what happens around the beginning of October in fantasy football. Everyone has a red thing next to them. That's why best ball may be the way to go moving forward. Then you ain't got to worry about everybody got red things, and then you're not getting an advantage off the waiver wire just by, I don't think many people have first come, first serve, but obviously you got to get those bids right and, go through that fab money or whatever the case may be if your waiver wire priority. But it's definitely tough. You know what I'm saying? But that's why I say every week, every show, every time I get a chance, you could have running back depth today, and tomorrow it could be gone. I had a team. I'm the Jonathan Taylor and Javonte Williams, legitimately a starting running back tandem on one of my teams, one of my better teams.
Yeah.
And now it's Jamal Williams and Tony Pollard. You know what I'm saying?
That's better than Matt Breida.
Yeah, that's true too. Hey, but I'm one high ankle sprain away from Matt Breida. So there you go. You know what I'm saying? I'm one too many hip thrusts away from Matt Breida.
Could you imagine having to pick up Matt Breida because Jamal Williams got suspended for getting a boner while he did an end zone celebration?
He threw his hip out. You know what I'm saying? He threw his hip out. And next thing you know, Matt Breida's in your lineup. Well, that's
slipping in the end zone.
Yeah. That other guy, Craig Reynolds, I picked him up. He don't really get no work though, so it's tough. The running back thing, it doesn't take no time for the running back portion of the waiver wire to be barren. You know what I'm saying?
You know who I find very interesting tonight? And so look, the Breida thinking is Daniel Jones is hurt. They had to run the Wildcat. maybe they'll involve Breda a little more because they hit all their receivers. He's been good before. Saquon can't do it all. If Saquon gets hurt, it's Matt Breda time.
It's as good a shot as anybody that's out there right now trying to logic and reason with it. Obviously, it's an offense that doesn't move or score the football that much. Really, Saquon Barkley is one that drives everything. Oh, your boy is starting to pop up on waiver wires now. This, you go to after you run your fab, right?
Yeah.
And you see who was released. Richard James was cut in every league I was in this week. Hey, I hear it's rumors. It's rumors that Odell could be when he gets healthy. I don't think. Listen, Odell's going to have options to play for teams that's going to be playing deep to the playoffs. Yeah, he can pick. You know what I'm saying? But it's like a battle between New York media and Josina Anderson. And Josina's kind of like, I know what I'm talking about. And the New York media is kind of like, oh, he was just visiting friends. You know what I'm saying? And
right.
Josina's like, he can go to their house. You know what I'm saying? He don't got to come to the facility to see them. So it's interesting back and forth between the New York media and Josina Anderson.
I don't know.
Tell you something. Josina's locked in. Where she's locked in at, she's locked in at.
Well, look, let's walk through this for a second because this could actually, this could be something. You're Odell Beckham Jr. You just won you just won a title with the Rams, right? Rams are probably too tight against the salary cap to really pay you a lot. But the Giants aren't, right?
Yeah, well,
you love New York. You're familiar with New York. You lived in New York for a long time. The people in New York love you. You have all the opportunities in the world to be in New York and make a big deal out of yourself. The Jets aren't going to bring you in because they already got the youth movement going. If you already have your ring, wouldn't you be like, just who's going to give me the most money? Like, where am I comfortable?
The quarterback is Daniel Jones. That's the problem. Because
if you think you're that good, you think you're going to elevate Daniel Jones?
Nah, I doubt it. You know what I'm saying?
Really? Come on, think about it.
I don't know because, like, the problem towards the back end, before they moved on from Odell, he was complaining about Eli Manning, who's going into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Eli became washed up down the stretch. So a New York Giant team with Daniel Jones overthrowing Odell Beckham, probably not going to work well. You know what I'm saying? I think there'd be some nostalgia. I think the fans would be glad to have him back. Obviously, without Mike Francesa running to the organization, telling the organization to get rid of him, because Mike Francesa totally was behind that. That's how powerful he is inside that New York Giant organization. He made them get rid of the best offensive player they ever had. Right. But by the same token, Beckham and Jones wasn't going to work, especially with Jones not really knowing what he's doing. You know what I'm saying? Now you may have Odell is older now. He's a dad now. You know what I'm saying? He come to the situation a little bit more humbled after really having a lot of his career taken away from him by serious injuries. When you listen, Odell Beckham is probably a dude that's not going to be in the NFL Hall of Fame, despite being the best Giants offensive player ever.
Yeah. Odell Beckham's so old now, I guess, at this point. And not like he's old in foot. Like he was kicking field. You remember he was kicking field goals? We were making a big deal out of that.
Yeah.
Like that's like how that to me feels like it was decades ago.
I know, right? It's crazy. That one hand catch, it feels like, my daughter was one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's Odell Beckham. That's still the same guy.
Yeah, it's still the same guy, and it's not too far removed from that. I was watching the thing last night. I don't know how I stumbled across it on YouTube when he was pretending when he was an Uber driver. He was pretending to be an Uber driver. You know what I'm saying? He was picking up people around New Jersey, talking about the game. They're like, oh, I hate that Beckham guy. You know what I'm saying? So, but he is going to have a chance to play for a team that where he can possibly win another Super Bowl. And if I'm Odell, I think that's going to be the case. I think there's nostalgia to the Giant thing, obviously. Interested to come back, talk to teammates, and maybe do have a conversation with Brian Daboll and the organization. And, hey, you really never know. The NFC is wide open. I know it sounds crazy, but the Giants are 3-1. They could make the playoffs.
3-1. They only got to win like 6 more games to make the playoffs, really.
Yeah, they could make the playoffs.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
They could do that.
Yeah, they could be a 6 or 7 seed as well. Especially with the schedule, the NFC East got the week schedule draw this year. So those teams are going to have pretty decent records. He's not going to be able to catch Philadelphia. Philadelphia can go undefeated the way they schedule look.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, so I think the Giants thing is intriguing because he went and had the conversation, but looking at it realistically, there's really no reason to play for the New York Giants outside of nostalgia.
nostalgia. You're right, because like the whole living in New York opens you up to advertising opportunities. Doesn't really.
Odell will be
that doesn't
fine.
hold.
Yeah, he'll be fine.
that's we have Instagram these days. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like,
He's Odell
that doesn't
Beckham. They'll
count.
find him. They'll find him.
I mean, all right. So let's follow the Virginia Zakis timeline. I think he's due to hit the 8-month mark.
Yeah.
In Thanksgiving-ish, right? Or was it 9-month mark? I think it's 9-month mark.
The 9-month mark would be December. Well, 9 months. Well, 2 plus 9 is
that's November. Yeah,
11. The 9-month mark would be about a month from now.
And that's if he waits. Like Godwin didn't wait and got hurt again. Gallup didn't wait, and who knows? He's okay right now.
Yeah, he's okay right now. Significance of the injury, obviously. Like Javonte Williams is not going to be okay in 9 months. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because of the kind of tear that he had. So I really don't know what kind of tear Odell has, but they do expect him to be able to be on a team for the playoffs. That is what Odell is shooting for, to be playing in the playoffs this year. And in order to be playing in the playoffs, you got to be playing on a team that must go to the playoff.
Can you imagine?
I went right out the Dallas Cowboys.
I could see that. I could actually see that. I could see him going anywhere though. Like I could see him going to Denver. You know what I mean? Like I wish I cared more about salary cap situations. I don't.
Yeah,
but,
I don't. I got a homeboy that take care of that stuff for me.
Yeah, I just don't care, man. I'll look it up when I need to.
Yeah.
But not today. Not today. Cool. That was.
I was Comic-Con this morning.
Oh, it was. I got a bag full of stuff. I think we can do this now.
you got any Kirk Cousins BCG 10s in there?
I should. Yeah, I might go to Walmart tomorrow to see if I can find this box and like get a couple. Maybe we'll break them open. Maybe we'll break them open live and send them. Maybe we'll get the Jeff from MJ Holdings.
Yeah, maybe you'll get the Justin Fields rated rookie auto.
Yeah. Oh, so I was telling you before the show, Phil Hughes, the former Yankees or whatever, Twins, Yankees, whatever, has like this Phil's polls thing.
Mm-hmm.
He caught a lot of heat on Twitter. I think he said like, oh, man, I think people were buying him for $250 maybe. And he's like, for my personal collection, these are all PSA 9 or higher. And like, so like, because his card purchaser retweets the complaints and stuff. And I think people were like really upset with him, like almost like
because you're paying $250. Yeah, that's the thing. He's kind of running it like a lottery system where you could possibly hit a jackpot, and it could be 1 or 2 jackpots in there, but the rest of them are going to be Kirk Cousins PSA 9s. You know what I'm saying?
$40. Yeah, exactly.
So,
but it was something that got people so mad. And I'm like, oh, this does sound kind of.
Because most of the pools are probably terrible. He was keeping his best stuff. He wasn't giving away the good stuff.
Well, I think the deal, I think like you said, I think
it's
the deal was
like, what it's called, Nando, hot packs.
Yeah. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You look hot it up packs. Because he took a lot. He took a lot of crap for it. Like it's kind of funny. This is Phil Hughes. Like.
Yeah, I know, right? I like Phil Hughes. I'm a Phil Hughes supporter.
I don't know if I am anymore after this incident.
Well, I don't want him to rob. I don't want him to. I don't want him to be. Pulling the wool over people's eyes.
No, I'm sure he's a good. And he's good. I can't tell if he's good or bad for the hobby. Like he collects stuff that's so far out of reach. And like I know, like companies used to send him stuff for free, and it was just like he's kind of out of touch.
Does he have a podcast or something? Or does he have like a Whatnot page or something like that?
Maybe, probably. Okay. Whatnot. I saw Whatnot. Yeah. Somewhere they were giving out Whatnot bags at Comic-Con. I couldn't figure out where, but I saw people carrying them around. I'm like, I wish you get that in mail to Corey. But like, dude, once you go, like Comic-Con is huge. It's in the Javits Center, right? It's huge.
Yeah.
And it's like booth after. It's almost like a fair. Like the top part is like. There's like the stuff they're giving away, like the Dragon Ball Z stuff they're giving away for free. But then it's like booth after booth of just collectibles. And I ran into, dude, you remember Sharon, Black Jaded Wolf?
I remember Sharon, yes.
She had a booth.
I've seen she had a booth. She was selling cards, right?
We got to get her on. She's so good. She is so smart great with cards.
Yeah.
Check her out, Black Jaded Wolf on Instagram. She's awesome. I didn't even bring it up. We were just chatting about the good old days,
Okay.
But so she had a card booth going. Jimmy from Monacy had a booth going. We couldn't find him though.
Okay.
So anyway, I go in. I take like $200 cash with me, and I'm like, this is what I'm gonna do. This is what I'm gonna spend it on. I got like my daughter's birthday coming up, Christmas gifts. My wife's birthday maybe. And I end up like the 200's gone so fast.
Yeah,
and then it's just
good.
like, here's my credit card, sir.
None of that 200's gone. Let me see if I can find some more.
I know, man. Yeah. Oh, that's how this works. So anyway, I can show if you want to see some of the stuff, I can pull it out and you can guess how much I paid for it. We can do it now. We can wait a little while.
I just want the stuff. I want to see it now. Yeah, break it out now. There's something going on today.
So I bought something that is borderline. I probably shouldn't hold it up. But I think it's okay. We're adults here, right?
Yeah, we're adults here. I don't know if it's who'd you buy it for.
I bought it for. It's a gift for my wife, but she's never gonna wear it. But only because it's a woman's line. Like I couldn't buy it for myself. Like I could. I think I just bought it just because like it's amazing you came up with this. I would like to support you. Here's $15. You know?
Okay, got it.
But it has a bad word on it, so I don't know.
Oh well, we won't read the bad word.
All right, let's start with this. PSA was good. This is for you. PSA magazine in the style of the old Nintendo Power.
Yeah, and it's got John Morant on the cover.
Yeah, because it's got John Morant. I was thinking of you.
Yeah,
so I got one that wasn't open.
That's pretty cool. I love that. I'm a big John Morant supporter. I think John Morant should be somebody that you should seriously consider when you're making your NBA preseason wagers for the most valuable player. He has an MVP in him.
And they did it just like Nintendo Power. They even have like
I love it.
The seal, like the fake seal down there at the bottom.
That's
like
cool.
Nintendo Power. Yeah. So that was free. I got this from my lady.
To me.
Yeah, I'm gonna. It's just a shirt.
Thank you. Oh, I like that. I like that.
Yeah, it's got this thing on it.
I like that.
It looked like a cool booth.
I like that.
Hold on, I got some more in here. This lady looked cool. She had a cool shirt. I know my wife would like this, so I got this for her. But you probably like this too.
Yeah, I love that. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, as a native, you know what I'm saying. The pigeon and the subway rat, and obviously that classic New York City coffee cup. It looks like a token is on it. That's great New York City stuff right there.
So the T-shirts were, if you want to guess, I mean, they're 30. I don't know if that's a fun game for you to guess how much T-shirts are.
No, that's fine.
That's going right. The going rate there is $30 for a T-shirt now.
Yeah, well, yeah. People got. I wonder how much that booth costs at Comic-Con.
I don't know, man, but it's got to be.
Probably, I would guess it might be $100 booth at Comic-Con.
No, more, way more.
You think it's way more than that? Okay, wow. Average card show a booth is $50, but that's like, I wonder how much a booth is at the Nationals. It would probably be along the same line. So you think it might be? You think a Comic-Con booth might be $200?
I was thinking like $2,500 at least for the bad section, probably.
Wow, that's way interesting right there. Wow.
I mean, I'm sure there's a way to find out.
Yeah.
But like, so there's sections like when you walk in, there's like a big section, the big room of Javits. You know, the front's better. The front's like where all like Funko is. Topps had a big booth there. I saw that Topps had a lot of cool Garbage Pail Kid stuff.
Nice. That
hadn't arrived yet. It got because of the hurricane. It's printed down in Florida. So
yeah.
But I mean, like it's like they're like come back tomorrow. I'm like, I should, but I can't. But I should, but I can't. Anyway, and they had this really cool atom bomb. You know Zoltan from Big.
Yeah,
they had a really cool like atom bomb as Zoltan. Like you hit the button and he like says some stuff and kicks out. It's supposed to kick out a card.
So they have Funko Pop right there when you come in. Funko was right there.
Huge booth of Funko Pop. But
they had like a highlighted booth basically, like you know what I'm saying? They had like a stage type.
Dude, it was designed as a haunted house. It's like a huge haunted house kind of. They're all cardboard.
They paid big money for that display right there.
Big time. Yeah. And like they're like Yu-Gi-Oh was big there, Dragon Ball Z, like all these brands were like just huge. Like right when you walk in.
PSA is grading them now, right?
See, yeah. You're the second person to tell me that today.
Yeah, PSA is grading Funko Pops now. Interesting. Like Smart. They just throw like the ones you don't put, the ones you leave in the box.
Yeah,
they great. I guess the condition of the box and stuff like that. Weird, but people into it. So you know what I'm saying. Be cool. How you be cool.
Remember Danny Olkers? Him and Frank.
I remember Danny Olkers well. This is my show, Danny. I ain't fooling with you today. Yes, I remember Danny Olkers.
Dude, I mean, like Danny, like he was like he's really into Funko Pops. Like he's like you should buy these 3 Funko Pops. They'll be worth more in like a year.
Okay,
so I did, and then I said to stop.
I can't wait to see which ones you got. Before you do that,
I didn't get any at Comic-Con.
Okay.
I'm done. I don't have any room anymore, man. They're like this big. There's nowhere to put them.
Yeah, no, you're right. It's big business. They got a lot of them in Jimmy's joint. How do you guys feel about Judy tonight in his matchup It was good to see him. It was good to see Russell involve him in the offense last week.
Yeah.
I would expect Russell Wilson to have his best game tonight. So then that means Judy should have a good game as well. If Russell can't get it going tonight against this Colt team that struggles defensively, I would say that we're gonna have a problem all season. I think the Hackett thing is interesting with him hiring a head coach so he can be the offensive coordinator. So but Lisa Ann said something I was on with Rick and Lisa Ann last night on Better Sports Live.
Yeah.
And she said she wouldn't be surprised if the altitude is bothering Russell Wilson, being that he just getting to start only playing a couple games.
We said that weeks ago. We said, let's go back and look at his home games versus this emotional return and then the 2 home games.
Oh, you're right. We did.
Corey, you were part of that. You were part
I
of
don't know.
that.
When Lisa Ann said it last night, it sounded like Da Vinci.
Oh, I got
you. Know what I'm saying?
Of course I'm saying, yeah. You probably stole that from us.
Yeah, it sounded like she was a great philosopher when she said that last night. I don't know. But I don't know. But no, I think listen. Do I have I trust Sutton more than Judy, but I think that it was good to see Judy back involved this week. So I would say on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being I feel great about him, I'd probably say around a 7.5, which is enough to play him tonight.
I mean, do you know who I like? I really want to figure out a way to somehow, more than just being like, I think he'll have a good game tonight. I can't find a good betting line on him, and I don't have a league where I can start him. But Philip Lindsay has all the makings of a guy who's going to just go 13 for 52 with a touchdown tonight. I don't know where that's relevant in my life because I think Nyheim Hines is going to remain the pass catching back. I think the dude from Duke, might not be ready yet.
Dion.
And Lindsay's been there. Lindsay wasn't just a guy they signed. He's a dude who they had preseason and then put on the practice squad. So, and it's a revenge game for whatever that's worth. Yeah, but I could just see Philip Lindsay just destroying the Denver.
It may be a good play for Jock Market. You know what I'm saying? Maybe we see some Phil Lindsay shares.
Maybe that's the way to do it. By the way, if you want Jock Market, code FRIENDS will get you a pretty sweet hookup. Matching deposit, risk-free first go at things. Leguez is going to be here in about 28 minutes. 30 minutes.
And we get a chance to talk to Leguez and really get into this Jock Market thing pretty good tonight. I went in there last night, got all set up. If you're setting up right quick though, everybody, what you set up when you set up with a Jock Market, if you do it on a computer, laptop, desktop, when you go to put the promo code in, go to your profile and put in the promo code FRIENDS where it says bonuses. So some people haven't been getting alerted to where you put the promo code in. Gotcha. So I got to the bottom of that last night. So you want to go ahead and do that so you can rep with the crew. All right, yeah.
Nice.
Lindsay's an interesting one tonight. Definitely a Jock Market play. Definitely a Jock Market shares.
Jared wants to know, would you start Lindsay or I'd still do Algier? Algier versus Lindsay. I would still do Algier, I think.
I would do Algier too.
Lindsay's more of a hunch
Algier might be the Falcons offense now since they don't like Kyle Pitts.
Yeah. That's anyway.
If Tampa Bay, if Atlanta beats Tampa this weekend, that NFC South is wide open for a team like Atlanta to win it. You know what I'm saying?
Arthur Smith Coach of the Year.
It very well could happen. That's going to be an interesting game. Right now, the number has gone up to 10 on DraftKings, so it's still steady money coming in on Tampa. But why wouldn't it? And Tampa's been dominant against the Falcons the past couple years. But you can't look at this Falcon team the way we've looked at Falcon team from the past couple years. Right. This is an entirely different team right here. Right. So I think the Falcons worth a play this weekend, especially if you can get them at plus 10.
Tom Brady's hurt too.
Yeah, and his feelings is hurt too.
I know, poor Tom Brady, man.
Yeah, he's going through that. I hate that.
Right. Where were we? Oh yeah, all right. Oh hey, you want to see the rest of this stuff?
Yeah, I want to see the rest of stuff in your bag.
You ready?
Yeah.
I got a bib for the baby.
Nice.
If you watch Game of Thrones.
Hey,
cool. I know things.
I like it. So shout out to the baby.
This is from a company called Hairbrained.
Okay.
This is where I got the other thing that's questionable.
Okay, got it.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
It's not right, man. But Okay, so this is the back, right?
Okay. I think we're doing too much now. I love it. I love it. As the whole audience looks at the screen in amazement.
I gotta name that some of my teams for the month of October. I gotta change that.
I love it. Good one right there.
Yeah, I know, man. Like, can you see? Like, even if I didn't have it, like, I gotta get this. Like, I can't.
Yeah,
how can you walk past this?
Yeah, exactly. You got to bring that one. You know what I'm saying? Save that for Valentine's Day or something.
Yeah. Got red on it. So I got this. My daughter loves Spider Ham.
Okay, there you go. Oh,
Spider Ham. Into the multiverse one.
No, I didn't, but that's cool. I like that.
And here's what I got. Here's the last of it. By the way, did you know Spider Ham? Like, he wasn't a pig who got bit by a spider. He was a spider who got bit by a pig.
That's crazy.
What a great origin story. All right. I got these for my brothers. They're going to be godfathers to the kids. So, like, these are like original art cells. This is from the real Ghostbusters. Nice. I don't know if you want to guess how much this was, but it was not as expensive as I thought it would be. Like, that's the original drawing right over there.
Oh, I see it now. All right.
It was colored in on this side.
Nice.
This is the drawing it was based on before they painted it over. I don't know if you could. There you go.
All right, there you go. That's cool.
Real
nice little pickup right there.
I know. So I got one of them for each. Look at this. This one. I love this face, man.
He-Man. Okay.
That's a He-Man original artwork, and then I got this colored one of Prince Adam holding on to something.
Got it. All right. I like that original artwork. You know what I'm saying? It shows when they were putting the stuff together. We got a phone call. Look at that. How about that? We got a call coming in. I believe we do.
Oh, it's the FCC.
So that'd be cool.
Yeah. Anyway, that's my haul. It's not
the FCC. They don't regulate this, Nando.
And then I got these cool little magnets to wrap it up, like this old Nintendo game.
Yeah, I like that.
They're very strong. Rampage.
Nice.
And then I got this Donkey Kong cereal.
Yeah. Okay, cool. I got something too. We grab it in the break, and I'll show you. I did pick up a collectible today.
Oh, nice. Yes. We get a phone call or what? You wanna?
Is it ready? Yeah, Eshan, we could bring him up if it's ready.
Yeah, we got it. Let's do it, man. Let's take him quick. He's got a question about his running backs. This is great. This is old school Corey Nando show. Writing down the running backs. Get ready.
Funhouse. Let's do it.
Have your pen and paper ready. So yeah, this is gonna be a good show today, man. We got another half hour of fun, and then a half hour of fun with John Legueza.
Mm-hmm.
And then we could just wrap it up however we'd like. To tell you who I'm on baseball wise, the Mariners.
I'm waiting. I seen John on VSiN this morning, so I think I kind of already know one of his plays. So I'll probably end up telling him on that, and then I'll see what else he likes. So what I'm going to do for this first round, this round that starts this weekend, I'm just going to bet the series. You know what I'm saying?
Smart.
I'm going to find a series, probably see if I can parlay them too. See if I can get all 4 series right. And that's how I'm going to go. That's how I'm going to go for the baseball this weekend. So John is going to help me with that because he seemed to be pretty locked into this stuff.
It's he's got stuff like, I'm like, hey, I think the Mariners will win. He's like first 5 -110. But
exactly. No, he's locked in. You know what I'm saying?
Tell you what, let's take a quick break. Ishan, if you're listening, you just hang up and hit the call button again. I think you're just kind of stuck. It's like turn it off, turn it back on again kind of thing. But the producers are saying just hang it up, dial it back, and then you'll be part of the show because that's what we do here. Corey Nando and Friends, presented by Mayo Media Network, sponsored by Jock Market, which we're going to be playing Philip Lindsay in tonight. Stay tuned. We'll be back with more after this.
Corey Nando and Friends is sponsored by Jock Market.
Work is here.
What up, Pat?
You guys doing Jock Market now? Jock Market's fun.
Tell us a little bit about Jock Market. I mean, it seems like it's only in game, right? You can't do anything like right now. You got to wait until games start, right?
We have to wait for the IPOs to come out. Once the IPOs are dropped, you don't have to trade in game. Once the prices are dropped, let's say for the weekend slate or even for the Thursday night slate, they might be out right now. I haven't checked. You can kind of get in on a price. And if you see, I don't know, for the Thursday night game, let's say Alec Pierce is way too cheap, or at least you perceive him to be way too cheap. He's like, $2 or something like that. And you're like, oh, I think Michael Pittman is going to be on Patrick Surtain. That's not going to be good news. Denver, pretty good against tight ends. So that throws out Jelani Woods, and that throws out Mo Alley-Cox and Kyle Granson. So now we're just taking guys off the Colts. Like, what are we doing here? Who can we buy on this team? Well, Paris Campbell sucks. Alec Pierce, maybe he's the guy. So within the context of that one game, you buy him for $2. He might be the highest performer of that game. Return like $10 a share, you make $5 extra money. So, but later on in the week, if everyone has the same idea as me before the game actually kicks off, and everyone is just buying up Alec Pierce shares, well, all of a sudden he could be $7 a share, and you probably don't want to buy it at that point. So if you can beat the market in on these IPO prices, you can cash in big.
So that's basically the key to it, is beating the market, trying to hop in there as soon as the IPO opens. Are you building a lineup, or are you buying shares of a particular player or players?
Players, just build a portfolio. You want to bet, like, it's just like playing the stock market. I can just go buy Pepsi Cola stock all I want. That can be the only stock that I buy. Maybe better to diversify in case that you're wrong on some of these things. So yeah, you can play as much or as little as you want. Okay.
So I think the part that it's a little bit confusing to me is like when the IPOs open and when to go in and buy and stuff like that.
Yeah, you can go in at any time to go buy, because let's say we don't know if Michael Thomas is playing this week, for example. So like no one's going to buy Michael Thomas shares. So when the IPO drops, if he's still sort of questionable, or we don't know if he's going to play, no one's going to buy those. His stock is going to go down before the game starts. So if you're like, I actually kind of like Michael Thomas if he plays, well, you just wait until like Sunday morning right before kickoff and just buy all the Michael Thomas shares if he's active. And then you get him for like 50 cents instead of like $2, which he probably is at opening.
So we're not buying like per season. We're buying per game.
Per game. And they have a month-long contest as well, where you can do that to see like how it does over the course of the next month. But for every slate, so Monday night, Thursday night, London games, main slate, late slate, Sunday night football, there are brand new markets that you can get into. So if you miss one, no big deal. You can get it on the next one.
Batman. We're back.
Let's go for it. Like,
hey, we're back. Yeah, thanks, Pat Mayo. In the past, sorry, I forgot I had a couple other. I got some She-Hulk keychains.
Oh, you got some She-Hulk keychains too?
Yeah. My daughter's really into She-Hulk. So,
all right, cool.
I think Isan's. Is this Isan? How do you say your name? We thought it was Ethan when we were glancing at it quickly, but that's not it.
It's Esan.
Esan. Nice.
Esan, what's going on? Esan, where you calling from?
I'm calling from Los Angeles right now. I'm with a buddy at the airport. He's going to New York. He's a Yankee fan.
Nah, good job.
Shout
out to your buddy who's a Yankee fan, dropping him off at LAX. What you got for us, buddy?
So thanks for your show. I have a weird situation with my roster right now. Oh, I think they're reconnecting. No.
We can still hear you, man.
Yeah,
You're still good.
I'm looking for my pen. Haven't done this in a while.
I can write this down and just repeat it to you if you'd like.
Okay, good. Thank you.
All right, Hassan, you there, man? I'll wait for him to come back.
Yeah. He's having a little technical difficulty. They don't let you go to do this. You sit with your people at the airport no more. You got to go through TSA. You know what I'm saying? And, I'm not doing all of that. I'm going to drop you off, and I'm going to keep it pushing.
Hey,
What's
he's
up,
back.
E?
All right, man. Yeah, we're here. You're here. We're
Okay,
here.
perfect. So here's the situation. I have Jonathan Taylor out, right? So I put Rashad Penny and Aaron Jones for my running backs.
Okay.
And now Penny's hurt.
Right now, exactly. Now Penny's hurt. I have Hines, my bench. Not sure. It's kind of risky. Should I wait for because I also have Kareem Hunt in my flex. So I'm not sure. What do you guys suggest?
So if Penny doesn't play, you can move Hunt out the flex into the running back spot, and then who could you put in the flex?
On flex, I have a bunch of like running back, wide receivers, which also are mainly hurt. Like I have Zay Jones, I have Reynolds, I have I also have Richard White.
Richard White. Listen, I think you got enough to where you don't have to really worry about playing the Heenheims tonight on the Thursday night. I know you want to avoid that, So I think with having Hunt available and some of the pieces you got outside of Jones, particularly Josh Reynolds, I think that you have enough to where you don't have to. I think your main thing is you don't want to know if you have to worry about Hines tonight.
Right.
I don't think you have to play Hines tonight. I would look for the upside on the weekend.
But get Hunt out of the flex, so you have flexibility. Put Hunt in that running back spot, and then you could choose like from whoever else is left. You know what I mean? Like then you can go wide receiver. You can even do a tight end if you happen upon a good one on your wire. But don't leave Hunt in that running back spot. Throw him over to that other. I'm sorry, don't leave him in the flex. Throw him over to that running back spot.
Got you. All right, thanks so much.
Hey, thanks, E.
Hey, good luck. Tell your friends safe flight.
No doubt.
From all of us here and from Jock Market.
No doubt. Nice. And you can be like E, hit that call button, hop it on the program. Me and Nando are not gonna bite you. Well, I'm not.
I'm good. I got my quota for the day. This is my new one, man. I just got this. I was just opening up when he was asking the question. My Naomi Gurma card that I was telling you about that I've
Okay. Did you buy that today? I wish I knew the soccer player so I can get into it. So today, I like that, Nando. Today I went to I had to get some lunch, and obviously small town like this, you want to get something quick, you got to go to the truck stop. The truck stop is right off Interstate 95. And I pulled up to the truck stop, and I'm like, McDonald's. And I was like, oh yeah, an adult Happy Meal.
Oh, you did it.
So I went today and I got an adult Happy Meal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was on the way back. You know what I mean? I just like when I got back and I parked, like my pops was coming in the opposite direction. So he was like, "Where'd you go?" And I get out the car and I got like an adult Happy Meal box. He's like, "You got a Happy Meal?" So I'm like, and he told me, "Well, I can't wait. I'm telling him I'm ready to get in the house and see what the toy is." And he said, "Oh," then he was like, "Did you get a girl toy or a boy toy?" And I was like, "It's 2022. It's gender fluid toys." You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you're not going to get me canceled. You know what I'm saying? So here goes my little. Fry guy. I got a Fry guy. There you go. So there goes Fry guy right there. So far this week, I got a Fry guy and a Kirk Cousins BCG team.
That's $25.
Yeah,
that's $25.
Exactly. So there you go right there. My adult Happy Meal Fry guy. You know what I'm saying? Sitting right there chilling. So
for the price of that adult Happy Meal, you could have gotten a pair of underwear.
Yeah, exactly.
I go back tomorrow. I'll go back tomorrow.
Happy Meal.
Oh, what did you get? What was the Happy? What did you get?
It was a Big Mac.
All right,
it was a Big Mac, like a regular size fries, a drink. It's the kids' Happy Meal with bigger portion. You know what I'm saying?
It's just like it's a value meal basically with.
Yeah, exactly. They put it in a box. You know what I'm saying? Like the kids. They got. I think it's like one is a Big Mac and the other one's a 10-piece nuggets.
All right. I don't know, man. Like I have no idea if those are gonna be worth something. Like I cannot. Like it seems like if they're still being sold, then no, right? Like,
I'm not gonna. Yeah, this might be. You never know. This could hit the secondary market. Say McDonald's do adult Happy Meal for a limited time, and then they never bring it back again. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know. Whatever. I got a Fry guy.
Did you open? Was that in plastic?
It was in plastic. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Check out
I wasn't gonna leave it in the plastic.
This is the one I got. This is my Roger Maris.
I love it.
I love this card's so pretty. You know what I mean? Yeah. Look at the back. It's got a beautiful,
that's a real nice card right there.
Yeah, it's a PSA 5.
Yeah.
According to Salfino, I overpaid a little bit for it, but I mean, like there weren't any cheaper ones out there, and I really wanted this. So.
I like that. Is that an All-Star game card?
This is a 1960 60.
Yeah. Now, All-Star game cards they don't really make those no more. Well, in the NFL and football cards, Mosaic will have a Pro Bowl card, right? That's really it. Now, in the 90s, the NBA All-Star cards were some of the most sought after cards in the box, like the Magic Johnson All-Star, the Michael Jordan All-Star, Larry Nance All-Star, so on and so forth. So you don't really spend too much. You really don't see too many All-Star cards no more. But I think that's a nice touch right there. I like the All-Star card. I like that. I like it a lot.
Salfino wrote a story he wrote how to buy a Mickey Mantle. It's still, I mean, you can go find it. You just Google like Salfino how to buy Mickey Mantle. If you're not if you're not a millionaire.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're exactly.
It was great. It was a great story.
12 million to throw away.
Like after I think 6 months later, all of them had gone up at least 20%. But his theory was like the mantles that you can buy right now that have the highest room to grow. It's not gonna be like $1 million Mickey Mantle card eventually, but the inserts, the all-star cards, like the home run leaders, or like the manager's dreams, like him and Willie Mays.
Nice. See those kind of cards, like you have like season leaders, right?
Yes.
In the basketball cards, it'll be like the guy who had the most assists on the card, the guy who had the most rebounds, the guy who had the most points. Those like kind of triple up cards right there. That's cool stuff.
Dude, I bought like a 1962 Topps checklist because it had Mickey Mantle's head on it.
I like
what I mean? Like that. I'm like, oh, that's a Mickey Mantle card. It counts. Horrible condition. I got it for like $14, but I guess there are better conditions out there.
Yeah, this is Jared just sent us a Upper Deck Young Guns Jack Hughes rookie card PSA 9. This must be like a hockey insert, a rookie insert. Jack, I don't know who Jack Hughes is, but
he's the stud Devils' first number 1 pick. He was like a number 1 overall pick. I know that much about hockey. I know who Jack Hughes is.
Wow, you knew that was good.
Let me tell you what. Let me tell you why actually. Because I was there was an event. I don't know if you've ever been to like an esports event. I got invited to an esports event.
No, we were supposed to be an esports company.
Remember we had the esports network. I was executive producer.
My bad, I forgot.
But,
for a month, for 2 weeks.
Depending on who you ask, it's still an esports company, of course. Actually, Deutsch was there that day. We went. He randomly knew someone that I knew who like they put us up in a box. It was like the Turner people brought us. It was awesome event. It was Rocket League, where the cars bump the soccer balls around. On the way out, we had to get out of there because the draft was that night. And so like they were setting up outside and whoever I was a Devils fan. Like, oh yeah, we're getting Jack Hughes. I'm like, I don't know what that means, but I just remember the name forever,
Got it. Yeah.
Jack Hughes.
I noticed that's 2019 is the date on that card. I think like I'm in my progression. I got to stop buying these retail boxes from Walmart because you just end up with a whole bunch of stupid stuff laying across the house. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that was my problem. Like I have stacks of these cards. I'm like, what am I like? What? Like
I got like a trash stack, a shoebox stack, sleeve, a stack to put a top loader on, a cell stack, a send the PSA stack. It's just stacks and stacks and stacks and stacks. I got to start getting rid of some of this stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm focusing now in basketball. I'm focusing on 2019 and 2020 because I want that Zion, Tyrese Maxey, Anthony Edwards, LaMelo Ball, Jordan Poole, who we'll talk about later. Yeah. I want to get that stuff more so than the 2020 stuff and the 2021 stuff. And in the NFL, I'm going for like 2020 because I want Burrow. You know what I'm saying? I want the quarterback that hurts. I want the quarterbacks in the 2020 class. You know what I'm saying? And that's really, and I want to focus my stuff on good stuff, basketball with the players that are happening, like Ja and Anthony Edwards, and in the NFL with the quarterbacks that are happening, like Burrow and Hurts and guys like that. That's what I'm trying to limit it to, so it's not so much Kenneth Gainwell's laying all over the place. You know what I'm saying?
Problem, man. Not even a Kenneth Gainwell rookie, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's a Kenneth Gainwell sitting right here. I'm like, what is this? Yeah, what am I do with this? That's trash. You know what I'm saying?
I think there's, I think there's an organization like Cards for Vets, I think it's called, where you can send your cards. And I don't know if they're getting anything. You know what I mean? Like
I'm giving them away as Halloween presents this year. You know what I'm saying? You get some candy and you'll get a prism. You know what I'm saying? There you go. Oh, that's real nice.
Look at these. You could buy a bag of these on eBay for like $20.
Mm-hmm.
But it's even got like the trick or trade. I think it's got 3 cards in each pack. Like, of course, we're not giving. I'm giving these away.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like, I'm not messing with Kit Kats or peanut allergies.
Yeah, I know, right?
You come by, you're getting a pack of Pokemon cards. You can remember this.
Do you have an EpiPen for my son? Like, what?
Just take these Pokemon cards. Work and Grind says the Halloween buckets are coming soon from McDonald's. That's good. That's good. That's you can put all your cards.
Yeah, I know. I have a stack of that. You know what I'm saying? So cards all over the place. So like I said, I'm narrowing it down. I really want to get into this World Cup stuff, but I'm like, I can go buy it and it could be like, oh, that's amazing, and I would never know it.
Right. I would like sticking it in the book, or like I slapped it on my wall. Like, do you know who that is?
Like, and they'd be like, oh, that's the that's a white sparkle prism, Pepe Le Pew. You know what I'm saying, or whatever the cool soccer guy name is.
We got a guy, Hector Castro, who was in our breaks. He was in a couple of the private breaks with Jimmy.
Oh,
he was in both of them. He's like a soccer card expert. He's got a pod. We can have him on. I got him writing a couple things with The Athletic. I got him writing the cards you want to invest in before the World Cup, like before these guys get huge on the main stage.
Nice.
Like I don't know if you're still in about like an Erling Haaland. I actually don't even know.
All right, so I get a box of it, and you put me in touch with that guy, and we'll see what's going on.
Yeah, and then he's going to do the women's cards to invest in.
Okay.
Which I think that's going to be the next big thing is women's soccer cards.
Yeah.
I think. I don't know. Could be wrong. Hey, let's talk this basketball thing because I'm actually genuinely interested in.
Yeah.
Do we have enough time? We got enough time to get into it?
Yeah, I think we got enough time to get into it. Obviously, see some breaking news reports come across the wire last night that are probably going to get a suspension for Draymond Green. He forcefully struck. He punched his teammate Jordan Poole, and
like this is for real, right? Is this like a rumor that he punched Jordan Poole, or is this like
no? He
this
punched
happened?
Jordan Poole. Yeah, it happened.
All right.
These guys not going to report it like that, go with a story like that. Right now, on the surface, right, your first thought is, man, what's wrong with Draymond Green? Does he have a mental illness the way he can't control himself? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And some of that is probably correct. But here's the thing, right? So my mind automatically, so my brother, you know Noah.
Yeah.
Noah's from Oakland. So he used to buy like $1 tickets and go sit in the bleachers and watch the Golden State Warriors in the Run TMC era when nobody was checking for the Golden State Warriors, right? He can legit write a book on the history of the Golden State Warriors. So just being around him and knowing how the team and stuff like that, people automatically, my thought was, oh, this is similar to what eventually ended up leading to Kevin Durant leaving Golden State because of an incident with Draymond Green. And then you think of, okay, now Draymond is up for an extension. Jordan Poole is up for an extension. And Draymond is the type of teammate where you know your contract situation. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
Which to me is awkward, but whatever. Y'all, the basketball team is much smaller than 53 men on the football roster. So apparently during practice yesterday, they got into it. They got chest to chest, right? And, words back and forth, pushing, shoving, and Draymond punched him in the face. You know what I'm saying? Which is wild to me that Draymond Green punched his teammate in the face. But then again, when you think about Draymond Green, it's not so wild. So
how did it get to? I mean, don't you think like at a certain point, like the teammates would have like, because when punches are thrown in anywhere, they never land because like someone's hooking your arm from behind or something, or like pushing you out of the way. Like he actually landed a punch in the guy's face. Where's the rest of the team?
So here's the thing. Now I know you asked the right question. So now let's peel. It's never what's on surface. So let's go back to the Kevin Durant incident. The most important thing in the Durant incident was Stephen Curry was hurt. He wasn't on the bench, nor was he with the team that night. So that's first and foremost. On the play that when the altercation took place, late game situation, Draymond Green gets the rebound, right? To the naked eye, you see Draymond Green bypass Kevin Durant, run up court, turn over the basketball. On the way back to the bench, Durant says, should have gave the ball to me, and all hell breaks loose, right? But now, if you know the team, in that situation, if Curry was on the court, Curry would have been leading the break. So that would have eliminated it. Now that Curry's not there, when Curry's not there, Draymond leads the break. What happened on this play, as they're coming down court, Kevin Durant claps his hands to say, give me the basketball.
Right.
Draymond Green doesn't like that. So Draymond is distracted by that. He dribbles the ball out of bounds. So basically, when they got back to the huddle, Draymond says, if you wasn't clapping your hands for the ball and would have filled the lane, I would have hit you for the pass for the three, and we wouldn't have this situation now. But when you're clapping your hands at me, that's not championship basketball. That's how you play with Russell Westbrook in OKC. And that was really Draymond's basis behind the big argument. You see what I'm saying, Nando?
Yeah.
You pull the pieces of the onion back with Draymond Green, and then you start to say, oh, okay, I see where he's coming from. Now, the other day, and this is so funny how these things happen, Nando. The other day, there was, NBA TV is doing like season previews.
Okay.
And in practice, Steph Curry and Klay Thompson had a 3-point shootout versus Moses Moody and Jordan Poole. So the broadcaster said, well, who won the contest? Asked Klay Thompson. Klay said, me and Steph won, and we were glad to humble Jordan Poole. Now you're like, oh, Jordan Poole needed to be humbled. This is 2 days ago. The story came out last night. Chris Hayes, who is locked into every West Coast team except the Lakers because LeBron shares this information with Brian Windhurst. So Chris Harris tweets, people on the team have been feeling like Jordan Poole was getting out of line. So my guess is Draymond had to go where he had to go to put Jordan Poole kind of back in his place. So it's kind of like chin checking a little brother. Now, it may not seem like the best way to go about it, but sometimes in these things, Nando, this is how you have to handle a teammate that's getting carried away. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. So that's it. So that's it right there. So it's kind of like, okay, he comes to the team afterwards. Oh, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have did this. But then Draymond is definitely the source. He still goes to the media and he's saying, yeah, Jordan Poole is getting a little bit too carried away. So, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
To put him back in his place. Now, some people may look at that as a champion. See, when you're a big brother, when you're the guts of a team, you got to do stuff like that. So it may come across on first take as on Skip. Now, you know what, Skip? Now, you know Skip. Now, Skip, come on now, Skip. They might have no business doing that, Skip. But when you know the interdynamics of the team, the teammates were probably like, I'm glad Draymond did that. Now
this guy's the leader.
Yeah, there you go. This guy's the leader. You know what I'm saying? He's going to sacrifice himself to look bad to make sure that the team goes into the season without some prima donna thinking he's Steph Curry. You know what I'm saying?
He's the Kyler Murray of our team.
You don't want Jordan Poole to become Kyler Murray. See, if
right,
the Cardinals,
actually, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, if the Cardinals had a guy on their team like Draymond Green, he may go up to Kyler Murray and be like, "Listen," and then Kyler Murray could get tough or talk smart to Draymond Green, and then get punched in his face too. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So you need these kind of guys on your team. So that's why when the story hit, my first thought was, Draymond, you got to do better than that. But as you dig deeper, you realize that Draymond actually might be doing the right thing.
Right?
Yeah.
Did the I mean, were people like, oh, there's strife internally with the Warriors? Like, let's move these odds from
everybody. Andre Iguodala tweeted last night. You know what I'm saying? Oh, my young bro Jordan Poole is good, and so is my guy, Draymond Green. So the team kind of like they say the right things. I'm sure you go up to the locker room. They're going to. This is a championship team. This is the dynasty of our time. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So they know how to handle themselves accordingly. You know what I'm saying? But Nando, I think that even though they tried to put together a trade package for Kevin Durant and during the offseason, I think they are a free team without Kevin Durant. I don't think that Durant ever really fit in with the Golden State Warriors, and neither does Fry Guy.
He knows what's up.
My man Brock says KD is a snake. See, Brock is an Oklahoma guy. You know what I'm saying? So he's going to say that because he's got his feelings hurt by, by Kevin Durant leaving. But Kevin Durant wasn't going to stay in Oklahoma City.
Wasn't the whole criticism on LeBron was like the decision, and then but Kevin Durant's such a classy guy, just faxed his I'm staying at Oklahoma City thing.
When you are a team like Oklahoma City, when you're even like a team like the Grizzlies, when you're a small market team, you have to get your superstars out the draft and pray that the city and the fan base and the organization impresses them enough to stay. In Memphis, that's been the case with Ja. You know what I'm saying? They're impressed with the city. They're impressed with the organization. You know what I'm saying? So they're like, okay, we'll stay, even despite it being a small market. The team has already told them, we're never going to go have money to buy the big free agent. We're going to have to build it through the draft and coach it up. That's their thing. When you're in Oklahoma City, you got to draft a player and hope that he stays. You know what I'm saying? Because your most stars, once they get a chance to become a star, they're going to leave, a la Kevin Durant. Westbrook didn't really want to leave, but, the team got destroyed so much that he had to. But you'll see Oklahoma City will build it back up, and then you got to hope that the good players stay.
There's a lot of hope.
Yeah, there's a lot of hope because you want to go to the big markets and stuff like that. And now the NBA is talking expansion, Nando. LeBron wants a team in Vegas. So you can't just have 31 teams. So they're going to put a team in Seattle as well. So the NBA probably in 2026 will expand to 20 to 32 teams, with the new franchises being in Las Vegas and in Seattle, with the Las Vegas franchise being a LeBron James ownership group. And they're going to build a new stadium, a new arena as well. They're not going to use T-Mobile, which they should use T-Mobile.
That's garbage, man.
You don't like the LeBron thing, right?
No, I mean, like it's like he's just kind of like bogarting. Of course. Wow, what a strange thing. Every other major sports league is putting a team in Las Vegas. Hey guys, I think we should have a team in Las Vegas. You know what I mean? Like,
and I should be the owner.
I mean, that's fine. If his news was, I want to own this team in Las Vegas, people, let's go. I got A-Rod. Let's do this. Fine. I got A-Rod and I got Jeter. Like, let's go. This is gonna be the greatest team ever in Las Vegas, an NBA team in Las Vegas. But not like, hey, commissioner, we should have a team in Las Vegas. Like, it's his idea. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's tricking a lot of 12-year-olds thinking that he's came up with, I'm the lobbyist for the Las Vegas basketball team, even though I have the most gambling-friendly league in the world.
Yeah, exactly. So listen, I look at it. I think if the NBA is going to go to 32, I think Seattle deserves to get a team, and you have to put a team in Vegas. Every sports league is going to have a team in Vegas now.
Yeah. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Leguez is here. Let's take a quick break. Come back. We'll bring on Leguez to talk some MLB, a little bit of jock market, but really like MLB postseason. He's the man when it comes to this kind of stuff. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Corey Nando and Friends, presented by Mayo Media, sponsored by Jock Market. John Leguez coming up on the other side. See you in a minute.
Corey Nando and Friends is sponsored by Jock Market.
I'm Pat Mayo of the Mayo Media Network and the Pat Mayo Experience audio podcast. Two things which you should subscribe to. I'm also the presenting sponsor of Bettor Sports Network's 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern weekday live block. So you should always tune into that. But what I want to talk about today is daily fantasy strategy and how you can leverage tools in order to both win, but understand what other people are doing, because creating leverage in daily fantasy is about the number one thing you can do if you want to get to the top of the leaderboard. So I'm going to walk through some of the tools that we have at runthesims.com in order to help guide you beyond what the tools actually provide, considering it's a lineup builder, it's an optimizer, it has projections. There's all of that stuff at Run the Sims. But it can also tell us a little bit of a different story. So right now, runthesims.com is already up there. It has NASCAR, it has F1, UFC coming soon, but NFL is the bread and butter of everything. And you're going to get your prop tool. If you want your prop tool, you're also going to get your simulator. And right now, you see it's $2.99 for the package, but because our friends at BSN are so smart, you can go to runthesims.com/BSN, get yourself 10% off, and you're going to want this. You can see all of the myriad tools that Run the Sims provides, but we're going to go to the classic optimizer. And we're going to show you how you can create leverage in your lineup without doing anything. We're going to make it the main slate of games because, I mean, if you want to run projections for every game, you can use the entire full slate of everything, and you can pick whatever operator that you want. Well, for this example, we use DraftKings. So all the stock projections are in there. You can play around with them any way you want, game by game, player by player. But if you generate lineups and you're someone who plays both tournaments and cash games, this is important because the optimal lineups will show you who the most common players are going to be in double ups, 50-50s, and head-to-heads, and what those lineups are going to look like, because optimal lineups are all going to be very similar. So Jalen Hurts or Daniel Jones at quarterback, you're going to have a lot of Antonio Gibson, Jonathan Taylor, Alvin Kamara, and Travis Etienne. And I'm not saying don't play these guys, but all you really need to do is pick a pivot point somewhere, and all of a sudden you can make your team especially different, especially in higher stakes in single entry double ups and cash games if you really want to go that way. So even when we go look at our player groups and our player pool, when we generate the lineups that we want, you most definitely saw that you're going to have your Jalen Hurts, Daniel Jones lineups. All you really need to do is get a little bit different, come up with a stack in a little bit of a different way, and you see Commanders defense keeps getting spat out. That's going to be the optimal one for week 1. So all you need to do is just go a different way, and all of a sudden you've created a leverage on your opponents, and your 3v3 just needs to win that 3v3, and all of a sudden you're printing money. runthesims.com/BSN for 10% off. I'm Pat Mayo.
This is Corey Nando and Friends, presented by Mayo Media and sponsored by Jock Market. Make real money every second of every game.
Welcome back, everybody. It's Corey Nando and Friends, brought to you by Mayo Media Network and sponsored by Jock Market. Use code FRIENDS when you go over to Jock Market, sign up. We'll be messing around tonight with we're going to get weird. I'll put some Philip Lindsay on there. Actually, here's the guy we should ask. John Legueza. John, what's up, man?
John, what's happening?
All right, what's up, guys? I'm fresh off that Giants game, Nando. Feeling very fancy, you know.
Well, John got some nice seats. He got sweet seats, courtesy of IBM, to watch the Giants last weekend.
We were, rubbing elbows with two-time Super Bowl champ Ahmad Bradshaw. He's a really cool dude, you know.
Oh, Ahmad Bradshaw is one of my least favorite athletes of all time. How about that? As a Dallas Cowboy fan, not a big Ahmad Bradshaw guy, John.
Oh, I would have told him if I knew.
John, what's going on, my man? I see you making the media rounds today. Love to see you out there doing your stuff, and love to see so many people appreciate and respect your work. Shout outs to you.
Thanks, man. Yeah, this thing of mine, it's been catching fire. You know, people dig the passion, you know, and really, we spoke about this at the Gramercy, you know. I'm of your coaching tree, right? If I ever go anywhere, your stamp is certainly on it because you two really both kind of cut the way for being different. And I'm definitely that. All right, come on. Let's talk about betting some baseball. I'm excited because finally baseball's at the fore right now. There's a football game but really the talk is about these playoff matchups. I love the new format. You know, the one game thing is not how baseball's meant to be. I like that they cut the travel days. They even stressed the wild card teams. Right, because there are no days off. So you have to use the beginning of that rotation. The Met, we're looking at you, Mets, right? That's where they got hurt, not securing that division. This is going to be excellent, man. I have my eye on the betting boards. They're all over the place right now.
Yeah, I can imagine they're lighting up, you know what I'm saying? And I'm sitting up here, I'm coming at it, you know, 100% honestly from a novice point of view. But what I do want to ask you is, hey, listen, I'm feeling a little, you know, I'm feeling a little bit dangerous, like Russell Wilson. It's spicy. So what's up? Let me get a four-leg first round series parlay. Start. Come on, John.
Yeah.
Start me off.
Let's start at the top of the hill.
With the Cleveland Indians and the Tampa Bay Rays.
All right, if we're gonna be betting playoff baseball, I always like to make sure I'm checking out the run lines. Because a lot of these times, these games are going to be very close. And there's a good chance every one of them, almost without looking, is going to be a one-run game. So okay. I'm always eyeballing that, especially if I think that we have the pitching edge. I don't normally four-leg parlay, but let's say we were going to do something like that. In the first game, even though I think I like Cleveland to win the series, you got to like Tampa Bay at least in the first game and at least in the first 5 innings. You know, I always love those bets. So we can get McClanahan with half a run spotted through 5 at minus 150. I'm not a big juice guy, but this would be one spot that I think you do pay the juice for. You're buying a legit run and starting ahead, right? So if people are unfamiliar in first 5 betting, the underdog gets a half run. So if you end up 5 innings in a tie game, you cash that ticket. So if you believe that you have the pitching edge, like I think we do with McClanahan, even though, listen, Bieber Fever's been good, Sugar Shane is the man. That fastball is one of the best pitches in the game. I'm always doing all this granular work. It really is. You'll see in the offseason, one of the best singular pitches in the game. So if I think we have the pitching edge, the offenses are probably just about the same. Good to see Wander back for the Rays. You know what? You get that. It's just a race to 15 outs. I like McClanahan to keep it tied. If I had to pair, I feel like that's a safe play.
Right now on DraftKings, you laying $1.55 with that. And you saying for the most part you don't want to lay that, but in Major League Baseball playoffs is worth it.
Well, especially for the first 5.
Nice.
Because we don't have to man, the extra inning rules threw off that kind of betting during the season. But I love these through 5 because, Corey, the managers are just willing to kind of look past it, right? The pressure is not on. They'll give up that run. They'll let it come in. It's not that big of a deal. It is the playoffs. But it's not the same pressure cooker, right? I think that's everyone. We know that. The 5th, especially torn up, well, what I'm thinking is the 5th inning, you're back of the line really well when you that, hey man, 0-0 cash is. It's all about the pitching edge for me always. That's really where it's come down for me.
I think that's smart right there. I think that's savvy right there. You get that half run like you said. You know what I'm saying? So basically, you only if we got to be 1-0, 2-0 to cash that in the bottom of the 5th. You know what I'm saying? And I like that. I like that angle right there. Especially these games are probably played more tight too, particularly game 1.
Oh, absolutely. Again, there's a really good chance every game is tied through 5. There's a pretty good chance every game is 1-1 or 0-0 through 5.
I wonder if you can bet that the game will be tied at the end of 5.
Well, no. But remember, you're not technically betting it'll be tied, but we are.
You're betting the half run. But I'm just saying, for more juice, if there was a book that offered a tie,
you can find everything nowadays. You can find
everything. About that. Yeah, you're right. You can.
I'd rather. I mean, I'm not saying that. I like to look for, especially for pairing, to look for the more conservative bet, the safer bet. I mean, if you're just taking it as a single, you might as well kind of grab the C.O. Jones and go for the straight up money line hit at 105. I also think a lot of these totals are priced too low, and there's 2 angles to this. Right, so we could either look at the first 5 over 3. A lot of times this carries out throughout a playoff board. They're generally going to be 3 or 3.5. That's exactly what I'm seeing today. Rays and Guardians at 3, Padres, Mets at 3, Mariners, Toronto 3.5. What I'm getting at is, man, it's funny because you can see I really have a very conservative thread to my betting. When you do it every day, it becomes more about not losing.
No doubt, I feel you.
Getting to that 3 and getting the push is awesome. And the evidence is in the first 5 team totals, right? So it's weird how I know it becomes a lot of work, but when you see how the books kind of lay out the rest of the bets, they leave hints for you. So if you were looking at the first 5 team total for either team, they're both set at 1.5, but the F5 total is only 3. So you see how there's something missing there. There's a slight edge to the 3 because you get your money back on a push, right? The team total for both sides is 1.5. So they both don't have to clear. You wouldn't lose the total. You would still push the total.
Got it.
Yeah, if you don't like one side to score, you could go with that F503 because, again, it's very easy to say, oh, DeGrom's never going to give up a run. Everyone gives up runs. It just happens.
It's
single swing.
Season.
Yeah, listen, a weird bounce, a bad call, a walk and a bloop. These things happen. It's very variant. Baseball on a whole is variant. A game is more variant, and 5 innings even more so, right? The more you zoom in, the weirder it's going to get. So you have to embrace that stuff in the playoffs. And again, I'm just really looking at these are really going to be close games. Hey, the next one, same thing too, man. Castillo is getting a half run at minus 130. I like Manoah, but he is the youngster here. I like Castillo. I think that might be a slight edge. I just like getting the half run, I think,
I'm all like Castillo's one of the reasons I'm hot on the Mariners.
Yeah.
Overall.
Yeah.
They added, and it's really like Carlos Santana was a sneaky trade. He's an OBP machine. He's gonna, once Ty France gets healthy, he can drive people. You know what I mean? Like it's Seattle reminds me of the Rams, the way the Rams added Beckham and Von Miller and like added these two pieces that they really needed. I feel like Seattle added these two pieces that they really needed that were missing. And man, you could run into them at the wrong time with Robbie Ray, hitting his stride. That could be a dangerous team. I think more dangerous than people realize. But just overall, just speaking futures wise.
Yeah, and I think health wise, it's happening for them at the right time. The names you mentioned, Nando, we haven't seen them all at once a lot.
Right.
Julio has been a bit spotty. Right, France had been spotty as well.
Yeah.
I think everyone's a go except for I believe Kelnick and Moore, but those are really secondary pieces. If they need Kelnick and Moore, they might already be in trouble. Suarez is a go. He looks good since he came back. France is a go, and Julio is a go. They're very strong up front. Yeah, and I love Castillo. He's going to be pumping. He is going to be pumping that changeup. He's working the bottom of the zone. Again, it's just a race to 15 outs. I love the free run. I think that's like my number one thing for playoff betting. I love that free run because minus 130 doesn't feel disparate enough. Because the flip side of that, remember, you can say, oh, but I could get plus 100, minus 105 on the money line F5. I'm saying, if you push it, you got to eat it. You don't get, you get your money back, and it's a kind of deflating.
Game. Let's go to where the people out there tell you where baseball was created, St. Louis, but that's not the case. Let's go. Phillies Cardinals. This is a 2:07 p.m. Eastern Time start tomorrow. So we get baseball from noon all the way until the end tomorrow. You got college football tomorrow. I think a sports equinox is coming up later on this month where you'll have the NBA, the NHL, Major League Baseball, and the NFL all going on the same day. It might be more than one this month. But let's go. Yeah, it's gonna be amazing. Let's go. Zach Wheeler, Jose Quintana. You got minus 110 on each side on the money line. We're going. If you're paying for the run, you're laying 2.5. What do you think about Game 1, Phillies and Cardinals?
This one, I would go with Philly on the outright money line because this is the one spot. This was actually the bet that I really had keyed up, and it's the Phillies to win the series at plus money. I've seen it ranging between plus 115 to plus 120, 125. For me, the playoffs is really all about power pitching. And that's the one thing the Cardinals really lack. They've tried to do it with lots of finesse and bludgeoning people with offense. You know what? The Cardinals have that Peyton Manning with the Colts feel, like really just beating the hell out of teams with offense in the regular season. And then you have to worry about what happens with the good defense and the good pitching, because we've seen the Cardinals go in the tank offensively. It's generally tied to the competition. You look at the starting pitching for St. Louis, it has to clearly be the worst. And it's just to clearly be the worst. I was making this joke today, but it really is the truth. Let us all, hope to find someone that loves us as much as the Cardinals love boring left-handers. It's like, it's insane. They just go out and right there, like on a mission to collect all of these guys. But it's Quintana, even Montgomery, and Montgomery's probably the best of the bunch. Even Wainwright. If they're not willing to start him at home, that's a real indicator that I think they're in trouble. He's been a linchpin for them at home. Remember, Wainwright has one of the greatest home careers in the history of the major leagues. 1,400 innings, sub-3 ERA at home. Wainwright's been ridiculous it's just unbelievable what he does in that building. So the fact that they bumped him out of the one spot and they're going with all lefties, which the Phillies really happened to hit. Remember, Schwarber maybe hitting $195 against lefties. He still has 10 ding-dongs. Baum, Segura, these guys all hit lefties. The Cardinals are not going to be able to bridge any of the starters if they get beat around in the third or the fourth. So I think Nola and Wheeler could get it done back-to-back. We could be out of here in 2 games, no problem. And if not, I just don't see the Cardinals. I just don't think they have the pitching depth. I like the offense. Don't get me wrong. Arenado, Goldschmidt, those boys can rake. How many good offenses have we seen get sent home in a short series?
Right.
Because Wheeler and Nola is the nut. That's a nut hand with pitching. Against what are they getting? Quintana, it's definitely Quintana. He's locked in 1, maybe Montgomery 2. Regardless, it's just not really terrifying anyone.
The Phillies must be I know that, there are a lot of good storylines, but if you go down the Phillies, Rob Thompson, great story. Bryce Harper playing through these crazy injuries, instead of cutting a season short and ending it. Great story. Playing against the Cardinals, trying to get them to beat the Cardinals. Great story. Brandon Marsh and his big beard and Noah Syndergaard coming over from the Angels.
How about Bryce and Stott? I like the Stott narrative too. There's a lot to that, right? You're a prospect guy, and Bryce Harper was pumping Bryson Stott the whole offseason. They had the shower narrative going. These guys are hanging out on the water, and he's talking them up, and he's on every one of my rosters. And Stott really played poorly. Yeah. And he showed some real fortitude. Got forced in the lineup with Didi out. He's been really good, really gritty. I really like the Phillies team. The bullpen is another story. They're going to need a few run cushion going into those late innings because if you're betting the Phillies, man, you probably want the first 5. But we saw the Nationals win the World Series with a suboptimal bullpen. It happens, right? We're talking about the smallest of small sets. The adrenaline is pumping. We also don't know what the score is going to be. So I like the Phillies at plus money.
Night game. You like the Phillies tomorrow, and you like the Phillies to win the series, right?
Yeah, I'm just a little more comfortable with the plus money than having to hit it twice with the negative. I'm going to just my Phillies play is Phillies with the series plus 115, and I'm going to just kind of walk away. Hope they knock it out in 2.
Got it. Got you covered right there. You got something for us tomorrow night. You Darvish, Max Scherzer, New York Mets. You want them on game 1. You laying $1.45. Padres coming back at plus 125. What do you think of game 1 in Citi Field tomorrow night?
I'm still trying to process the fact that we're playing games with Jacob deGrom. It's like they were talking about they were holding him off for the playoffs, right? And now what are you holding him off for? I even heard them say they might not even start him in game 2. You may hold him in game 3. I got news for you. Oh my gosh, what if you lose the second one? I just can't believe that. That's crazy. deGrom should be pitching this game. He's not. I guess if you're gonna have anybody in his place, it should be Scherzer. But I'll tell you, man, I'm a little worried about this one for the Mets. Scherzer is the man, but that Padre offense really kind of scares me. I'm not the type to go, well, look how they finished on the last week or the front of September. I don't know. Soto in the playoffs is a different animal, man. He's carried a team before. We've seen it. I'm a little afraid, of the Mets mid bullpen again. If Scherzer gets touched and you see the hook, I'm afraid of the Mets in like the 6th, 7th, 8th. You know what I mean, or 7, 8. Let's say. I
got the Mets. They asked us to pick winners at the Athletic, and I put the Mets down. Like I said, look, the Mets for this reason alone. DeGrom and Scherzer can win 4 games very easily in a 7-game series.
Yep.
And so that gives you like some, you got a 3-game buffer in a weird way if people just be loose, relax, and they pick one up, you're in great shape. You know what I mean? Like DeGrom goes to the bullpen for game 7 or whatever, like it's Scherzer and DeGrom, like the old Randy Johnson, Kurt Schilling duo.
I don't love that price. It's a little steep. 175 series price for the Mets.
That's a
little
price.
bit steep. Yeah,
I'm talking World Series though. I mean, like that's not so bad, right? Like, I mean,
no, I think that's where you want to be. And I'll tell you what, you have to get if you want the Mets for the World Series, you got to get it now.
You got to do that now, man.
Yeah, right.
DeGrom perfect or Scherzer perfect game is gonna change that.
I was gonna say, well, once they put themselves in that position where their 2 studs can go 4 out of 7, more than 50% of the games, it kind of could change the calculus on that. Although that entire bracket is really tough, man, right? Because that's Mets Padres, winner goes to the Dodgers.
Yeah.
So that's like the goal, you know what I mean? That's like the group of death right there. That's gonna be a really tough one for anybody. I do like the Mets. I do like the Mets in the series. I've just been a little off put by the price because I think Darvish and Musgrove might be getting looked past, and they're both really good. And they go distance. If Darvish is sharp, he has maybe one of the craziest arsenals in all of major leagues. He has like 6 or 7 pitches he could throw for strikes. Not everyone can do that, right? He could throw it and he'll throw them against righties, against lefties. He can throw them up and down. Darvish is really, really versatile. And that's kind of what helps him, right? Because if he goes out there and pitch A is not working, he just moves to B. But when all of them are working, he's going to have the Mets on their heels. I like the Met offense, but they're worrisome at points because the double plays are just through the roof. And that's a playoff killer. I think the Mets might have led the league in double plays in the second half, or if not bottom 3. And that's a murderer, right? Because you get the guy on, it's a precious base runner, and the next batter, 2 outs, ground ball to the shortstop. So I like the Mets. I just think it's a little bit closer than the price says.
Let me get a American League champion, a National League champion, a World Series champion, and I can put a future on tonight, tomorrow morning before the action kicks off.
Well, I think if we're going to talk World Series, it's really going to be hard to pick anybody that's not on the bye because of how I mentioned they're going to be able to line up their rotations. So it's really hard to not go. It really is very difficult to not go chalk. Again, I mentioned the format and how that's going to impact it. It's hard not to go Astros and Dodgers.
I'm not betting on the Astros or the Dodgers.
Me neither. I normally don't. And I put together that futures ticket for the Athletic, and the whole thing is predicated on fading the Dodgers and the Yankees. That's the whole point, is they're never really worth it. You're asking me who I think is going to win. That'd be it. If you want to know who I'm betting on, where I think the money is, and I'll get ready to puke, Corey. You're really going to puke now, because what I'm afraid of, and really what I think is going to happen, is if the Guardians beat the Rays, they might beat the Yankees. And that's what kills me. I know you don't like that. I know, but
no, I don't like the sound of that. So we got to figure out somebody else.
He's ready to brush it past, but the problem is these Guardians are very tricky. And the key to the Yankees' future, really, in general, I believe, is that game one, right? Is McClanahan on a bump for the Rays. If the Guardians get to McClanahan, they most likely win the series. There's not much else behind them. The Rays rested Rasmussen. I don't know. That ain't really it. McKenzie's been as good as anybody lately, man. Give me sticks on the bump game two. So if the Guardians get past the Rays, they do everything that's always killed the Yankees. I mean, this is the Guardians literally. I wouldn't be surprised if that's on the whiteboard in the GM's offices. This is how you beat the big bad giant, because it's contact, it's opposite field, it's everything that the Yankees are the opposite of what they're known for, the opposite of bashing. The Cleveland, their line as a team is just crazy here. Check this out. So last 2,700 plate appearances, right? So this is spanning, I think it's the second half. They're dead last in hard hit rate, 26%, right? Dead last in barrel rate, 4.5, sub 100 WRC plus. It's just these are not good numbers. They're bottom 3 in home runs, bottom 8 in doubles, just everything that you think, how does this translate into second half success? Remember, these are the numbers when they succeeded. How is that possible? It's the opposite of what we've been taught to think in this StatCast era, right, guys? It's the truth. Barrels and hard hit, we've been taught that is the pathway to offensive production. The Guardians are doing it differently right now, and it's because they have the league's best strikeout rate, right? They have the league's best swinging strike rate. They also have the league's best in-zone contact rate. The opposite of what the Yankees do, So that's going to be it. It's all right. If they lead the league in steals second half, so the Guardians are a first to third. They're going to steal. They're going to stretch. That's the team I'm worried about. So just for the odds, because that's where we're getting, right? If we're betting on stuff, I think that's the bet to make, because that's the big number, and I think that's the bet that might have legs.
And
right?
then that bet can have hedge equity too. Once you get a little bit deeper, that bet had hedge equity when if you get to a American League Championship Series between the Astros, the cheating Houston Astros, and let's just call it like we call it, the cheating Houston Astros and the Guardians. So I do like that hedge equity right there. All right, let's look for we got it. All right, John. This is what I want to do, right? And I see where you made the trade, Sarah, on YouTube. We get to the trade in the next segment. But right now, we got to get this jock market money. So when the IPO for tonight opens up at 6 p.m., tell me, John, how am I going to what am I? So I'm logging on a jock market at 6 o'clock when the IPO opens, and take me through what I'm doing until I'm take me through the steps to make me have a successful night.
Let's say you got $30. Let's say you got $30.
Yeah, well, most of the promos cover more than enough to do damage. I think the best tip for everybody is, listen, go download it, go get the promo money, follow along the first day just on paper, right? That way you're not putting in live cash. Not that you're going to get beat up, because that's one of the good things about this game. You just have to understand a few simple things, right? One is to know where the prices are going to end up. So they have projected IPOs. So if you know where a player is going to end up, and you know what it might return, always, there are two different animals, right? Tonight being a showdown, different than the main slate. prices are going to be much higher because there are much fewer players involved. The top player on the board, the number one overall player, is going to return $25 per share. So with that $30 talking about Nando, the top player on a showdown generally ends up at around $12.50, giving you a 2-to-1 pop at the number one. But again, in a single game, the number one player is generally concentrated around the two quarterbacks, the top wide receivers, maybe a running back here and there. Maybe even more important is 25 is the first player, the next is 20, and then 18 and 15. So
we pay out. So on a one game slate, you four spots return money.
If you're paying $12.50. Where I like to make my money is to just look for the cheapest players that can get the ball. Because we're talking about it, again, showdown, I mentioned variants. Single game football is the most variant thing ever. Tonight is the best example of it because the Colts are going to be throwing to tight ends that we don't know. We don't know who's going to get it. They have 3 tight ends that have all shown they can catch the ball. Cox, Grayson, Woods have all shown they can catch the ball. And if I'm not wrong, they might all have multi-touchdown games this year, right? I know Woods did it last 2 weeks ago. Cox did it this week. A point being, the guy at the bottom of the player pool can really bring in profits that you can't find anywhere in the prop market, right? If you bet a prop, it either hits or it doesn't. It's a binary hit, minus 110, plus 100, whatever the case is. With these cheaper players, tonight, again, perfect example. I think everyone's on Lindsey, so maybe that's not it. It's probably a tight end thing. What was the other guy?
We thought we were so cool here. Hey, Philip Lindsey.
Well, listen, I mean, they elevated him. I think it's more Nyheim Hines. I mean, Lindsey might get a couple carries or two. I'm struggling to come up with the Broncos tight end. Is it like Staubert or something like that?
I haven't even touched the Broncos. I don't
Yeah,
even,
it
was Noah Font for me forever.
Yeah, no. And then Albert O is something. Albert O ain't.
He's out. No, he's
done, right?
Done.
Yeah.
No, he's done because he only played a single snap last week. People are going to be putting money on Albert O. So it's Staubert because he's just holding the place card for Dulcich, who'll be back. But in the time being, those backup tight ends, you might get these guys for $2.50, $3 a share. Where forget even the top one. The guy might just have a catch. 2 catches for 45 yards, and it might double you up. So there's many ways to get paid in the jock market, right? You know, because unlike DFS, where like the prices are set, so everybody can do their work based around the price. Jock market happens in real time, and demand drives up the price.
Someone's got to be selling, right? I mean, like if I'm selling,
it's off. No, you're buying from the market at first.
You buy from the market. You open up. Now, is it better?
But then what? But then, like during the game, I got to sell my. I can sell my Alec Pierce.
If you want, you can flip mid-game in both directions, or if not, they close it out. You know, the market closes, and after they rank those players, each standing is assigned a share return.
Gotcha.
And last thing is, they all return $1. I know some people don't always know that. So the player that costs you $2.50, you get $1 back on that, no matter what. You know, the bottom share is a $1 return. There is no zero. You can't zero out. It's impossible. You can't zero out.
Gotcha.
You have to front for the share. But there is money, especially on the main slate. So I usually tell people exactly what I said to lead here is follow along today because you want to see the speed it moves. You want to see some of the pricing. You want to get used to the execution and stuff. Maybe if you want, buy a single share of the cheapest guy that you think might go. Again, buy a backup tight end share. But pay attention on Sunday, because it's a 200-player slate, and every single week there's a dozen or 2 dozen guys that double up and triple up. They don't even do much. They don't do anything. You know, like I had Rashad Penny was a pretty popular play. He was $3.50, and I think he returned like $18 a share. And just that one hit alone kind of floated my portfolio. So like I didn't have a great day, but because I had one really good hit, I ended up in the black, even if it was only marginal. The reason that matters is because, in DraftKings, FanDuel, conventional DFS, you can have the best player on the board all you like. You still go home with Ugats. You got nothing. You get literally nothing for DFS like 99% of the time, right? You can have the 3 best players. If you hang 3 zeros, you go home with nothing. So jock market is a little more, it's like inherently more fair because each play is graded individually and each has a chance to return progressively. Now, again, the more you pay, the more that ceiling is capped. So if you pay $12.50, you can't any more than double up. But if Jerry Jeudy is $6 a share, he has a chance to hit for 425% if he scores a couple touchdowns, which, again, I don't know, he's not a favorite for that, but anything can happen. You know, it's hard to explain what's going to happen in a single game.
Should we get in early to buy the shares, or should we wait till right before kickoff?
I got to be honest. If you're a novice,
which
I
we
guess
are,
the earliest is the best because
Okay.
you want to track it. My best piece of advice is the last 5 minutes is nuts.
It's crazy, right?
And be wary of trying to be too cute with pricing. And that was a great question because it's the best lesson for it is these are limit orders, meaning let's say you bid $5. Let's say the current price is $4 and you bid $5 and it's about to close. You get the difference back, right? You don't have to cover the bid. You just have to cover the price. So when we're talking in terms of just a few cents and you want the player, get the player. Like, meaning, think of it this way. Let's say there's 100 shares. Think of it as in terms of people online. And then you put in a order for 10 shares. The bottom 10 shares get bumped out of that line. You replace them because there are a finite amount of shares. If you're going to try and be cute and overbid by 1 cent, you're going to put yourself in the back of the line, the first person to be replaced. Go over by 30 cents. Give yourself a bit of a pad. That way you're not the first person bid out. Because when I first started, that was getting me in trouble going, oh, look, whatever, Russell Wilson is $10 on the nose. I bid $10.03. You should bid $10.25, right? Give yourself that padding. That way if you bid $10.03, you don't want to get scooped out at the last second because like a real market, the volume goes crazy at the very end. And again, if you're trying to be cute, you can be left out in the cold without those shares, So when you get used to it, I just put in safe bids. If you know the pricing, you know the pricing. If I know I'm not going over $12.50, you put $12.50 for Cortland Sutton today because I think he's the best player in the game tonight, right? So if you know you're willing, $12.50 is your maximum, put in a $12.50 bid. If you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. I'm not the type to chase. I like to get my price rather than be forced into these things.
All right, cool. I like Sutton tonight too. I think Sutton is probably the most dynamic option and to get the ball the most interesting tonight. I think Hines is a play too. I might even look at Matt Ryan. Like I said, I like what you're saying as well. Maybe this is a night, John, where you just go ahead and you look. You know what I'm saying, and you see how it works, and then you shadow it tonight, and then you hop in. So tell me about the how does it like? So same thing. Like 2 weeks from now, we'll be doing this for the NBA season, and basically it's the same the thing, right? Where you're going in. You're looking for, you got a full slate of NBA games. You got 8-9 games. Obviously LeBron, you know what I'm saying? Jokic, high price guys. But maybe, a dude that can come off the bench and drop 12 could be the guy to bring back the biggest return.
Yeah, I would say, again, I'm not a pro at NBA by any means, but from being involved in companies doing this stuff, working at FTN and Athletic, being around people that do it, my number one spot for edge, in fact, if I probably should be looking into this, is trying to get your best handle on those late game swaps. My issue with the studs and the stars is they get benched at the last second like everybody else. And once you put that bid in, it's yours. You won't. Yeah. If it closes, you're married to that. The same for weather. Well, there's no weather in basketball, but weather in baseball, let's say, or lightning in football or something. So be very careful. I would be very wary, I should say, of stars in NBA because of that late swap. But the inverse of that, meaning if you have a beat on that, late game swap or who's going to be that sixth man that's going to get the double-digit minutes, that is legit straight up the way to get paid in jock market. Because, again, it's relative to the field. There's going to be guys on that slate, if you want to call it, that are not in the game. So right off the bat, the bottom standings are getting padded. I noticed that in NBA, just kind of fooling around with it, that let's say the bottom 10% of the board, they're not even in the lineup right off the bat. So right off the bat, 10 percentile is dead money, right? So I do like dead money. Like they're drawing dead because those guys are not playing. So provided you get a single point, you're on your way to profit. And again, if you find the low-priced players, because that leverage is everything, right? As people get sharper with DFS, we know leverage is at the heart of this stuff. In jock market, the leverage is built into the price. If something is cheap, it means it's not popular by definition.
Right.
If it's expensive, it's popular. So anything you think can hit that's cheap, you should literally just pile on it because those are the huge returns.
Got it.
It's almost like cards.
Yeah, listen, if you got the nut hand, you got to smash it because it doesn't come around that often. You know,
that's a poker term for everyone listening, by the way. I had to look that up when you handed the story, and I'm like, I can't leave this in here. And I'm like, let me just check. Nut hand, Google, and it's a poker term. All right, cool, good to know. Not a poker player.
He thought I was working some filth in there to the athletic.
I thought you were going blue. Yeah, John Legeza going blue. But no, it's the poker stuff.
Oh, we knew it was going off the rails at some point, man.
Learn something new every day.
Right. Absolutely, at least. Man, that was awesome. Yo, wait, Corey, how about did you happen to catch my shtick today? Let me know this Thursday night football game. Come on. Bet of like the year tonight. Books are sleeping on Nyheim Hines. He's got
I think that was Rick Wolf threw that in the chat a little while earlier.
He has alt reception props out there. Now you got to kind of find them. I saw over 6.5 receptions at plus 1,000. So 10-1.
That's good right there.
Wow. He had 8 receptions the last time he played a game without Taylor. Granted, it was like 2 years ago, but still. He had 5 and 6 catches already in games this year.
With Taylor playing
in the game. With Taylor playing.
I'm in South Carolina, so I'm offshore. So I gotta look. I wish I had like a regulated book where I can get stuff like that. But my alt lines, I'm gonna check for it tonight. Though I'm glad you mentioned that.
Oh, I may have a link for you, and I may or may not. I may or may not.
Hey! I know a guy.
On that note.
Oh my goodness.
So listen, I think we got 2 strikes on this show already. We gotta watch it.
Well, then you should have brought me on, man. Come on.
Oh man. Hey, John. Thanks, man. I know we said we.
Yeah, great stuff, John. We want to get you come back next week when I would say when the real playoffs start.
Yeah, right.
Well, yeah. Listen, holler at me. I'll be around. This is my time of year, right? We kind of getting the last bit out. I love that baseball's at the 4, so with baseball in the front of everyone's mind, I'm going to be right there with it.
MLB correspondent for us, John Legeza, for the Corey Nando and friends.
Guys,
John Legeza, he's Jalen's boss now. Congratulations.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, John, thanks a lot, man. John Legeza is finally normal Twitter handle. Just John Legeza. Go get him.
You guys are the best, man. Appreciate you.
Go follow.
Thanks
see the charts.
Good stuff, John. Holla at you.
Man, John's awesome.
Yeah,
man,
good stuff.
I can just listen. It's like he has such like a melodious way of explaining stuff sometimes too, man.
And then I like the the playoff games ending at 4-3, 5-6. You know what I'm saying? 1-run games.
Yeah,
probably very prominent. So, parlaying that plus 1.5, it could be all right. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
We can Jalen John can hire me to be his researcher.
Yeah.
I don't know if he needs a researcher, man. That's the those are like his batteries is the research, for some people. Hines over under receptions is 3.5 on Star. I guess we start out FanDuel, DraftKings, all that. That looks like DraftKings enough stars for that. But you got to pay the juice at minus.
Do that? Does the program do that?
I think we do that. So because someone could just run in here and be like, "Hey, use my FanDuel code." It is FanDuel. I think. It happens in our back end too. It's not just like. I know a couple times it's happened in the chat. Like people, you have to write FanDuel with space.
Really?
Or DraftKings with like a dollar sign.
Never knew that.
I think.
I think it's paying $1.36. But if there's alternate out there, like I did see an alternate tonight.
Keys that up to 6.5 is what he's saying.
Yeah, exactly. I saw an alternate to the line for the game tonight with the Colts laying 3.5, right? But the problem was there was only 235. If I'm laying the hook with the Colts, I want $4. You know what I'm saying?
It seems like a low.
Yeah, exactly. That's crazy.
But then again, you're playing with offshore stuff, so I don't know. Maybe it's a little different here.
Yeah, maybe so. Yeah,
I don't know. We can find out. I can check some Nyheim Hines stuff during the break. Come back and feed you if you'd like.
Well, we'll figure it out. We can talk about this game. We got some questions piling up from our YouTube audience. We can hit those, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah, nice. Let's do that.
Take some questions, talk a little trash, you know what I'm saying? I can tell you about Babe Ruth being a fictional character. Whatever you want to do, we got you covered as we wind down. Only a little bit of racetrack left on Corey, Nando, and Friends.
I know, man. We wasted so much time looking at Comic-Con purchases.
That was the best part of the show. that and Fry Guy, you know what I'm saying? Fry Guy's hit the spot.
Put him up.
He needs something on.
Oh, you gotta lean him on something, yeah.
He needs something to lean on.
Oh, maybe I'll run upstairs and be like, hey, we should get McDonald's for dinner tonight. I guess I'm at Walmart on the way back.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna take a quick break. We're gonna have no show left. Stand by. Corey, Nando, and Friends, presented by Mayo Media Network and brought to you by Jock Market. We'll be right back after this.
Corey, Nando, and Friends is sponsored by Jock Market. Corey, Nando, and Friends, presented by Mayo Media on Bettor Sports Network.
I'm convinced that Babe Ruth is a fictional character. Babe Ruth is not real. No, it's not. Babe Ruth is not real. We've been hoodwinked. We've been bamboozled. We've been led astray. We've been run amok.
Keep going.
Babe Ruth. I don't know the rest. Babe Ruth is a fictional character. I'm dead serious. Babe Ruth is a fictional character. Y'all are never going to get me to believe that Babe Ruth is real. Babe Ruth is like a baseball Santa Claus. I'm not buying it. After I saw those highlights last night of Babe Ruth, I'm like, there's no way you can tell me that Babe Ruth is a real person. Who do you know? There is nobody under the sound of my voice that has ever seen Babe Ruth play. I asked my pop, you ever seen Babe Ruth play? He's like, no. Nobody's ever seen Babe Ruth play.
I mean, come on.
I'm telling you, Babe Ruth is a fictional character. Even Babe Ruth baseball cards, it looked like it's drawn. Like, Babe Ruth is not real. Y'all trying to pull a fast one. Listen, I don't know who made this up. Maybe it was Phil Rizzuto. Maybe it's the Lenny Melnick. But Babe Ruth is not a real person. There's no way. Everything about Babe Ruth is sketchy. If you didn't go to the games, how do you know that it really happened? Or I listened on the radio. You listen to Ovaltine on the radio. That old school radio was all fiction. Everything on old school radio was fake. But you think Babe Ruth is real?
Look, he lived until 1948. So if you find someone who's like 85 years old, they might have remembered him when he was little, when they were a little teenager.
Babe Ruth was made up by baseball purists. I am certain.
You do that thing where you pause the Babe Ruth video and you zoom in and you zoom in and you zoom in. And you see like some artist autograph like right here.
Yeah, you like
some digital mark right here. Yeah.
Somebody needs to investigate this and see if Babe Ruth is a real person. I'm pretty sure Babe Ruth is a fictional character created to make people think that like there was this great jolly old baseball player that drank beers and ate hot dogs and hit 60 home runs. Like the home run record before Babe Ruth was like 14. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and
but
now
you figured it out. Like who figured out the dunk, right? Like he's just like, oh,
that's like Dr. J or something, right? Then Dr. J, probably was before Dr. J, but Dr. J made the dunk famous. Babe Ruth made the home run famous, or maybe that was a way to get people to like, we're gonna make baseball America's pastime. But in order to do so, we need somebody who we can make the face of the sport. And they didn't have no face of the sport. So they're like, okay, let's make him a fictional guy that played for the Red Sox and was traded to the Yankees for like tickets to tickets to cats. You know what I'm saying? Like the Red Sox get a Yankees.
You tried to say
is there any footage of Babe Ruth in the Red Sox uniform? None. I'm telling you, Babe Ruth is a fictional character.
Corey, Nando, and Friends is sponsored by Jock Market. Make real money every hour, every minute, every second of every game.
I found Nyheim Hines on my book.
Yeah.
6 catches for, hold on one second. Nyheim Hines, 6 catches for 270, 7 catches for 660.
I got, so I don't have receptions.
Plus 660 for 7 catches. I love that.
I couldn't find alternate receptions on DraftKings, but I found alternate receiving yards. It's actually just Cortland Sutton and Nyheim Hines. Nyheim Hines, 49.5. You go over plus is plus 300. 74.5 is plus 800.
49.5 is plus 300.
Yeah.
That's not a bad one right there.
74.5 is 8-1. 99.5 is 13-1.
Yeah. I don't know if he's going to have 100 yards receiving tonight, but I definitely like the reception angle. So I'm going to hop on that.
Yeah, I don't know. Like the rest, it just doesn't seem like enough for me to mess around with.
We taking risks right here at plus money. You know what I'm saying? This is different than throwing them in your fantasy lineup. You know what I mean?
You don't have like Nick Sirianni. We don't have any indication of how this will operate without Jonathan Taylor there. You know what I mean? Like he could just be like, Nyheim Hines is my pass catching back. That's all. He's nothing more.
Yeah.
You know, or he could be like, hey, this is my. He's got the starting running back capability like he did in college. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. We don't know yet.
Mm-hmm. Surah.
Let's answer some questions. Right. I think it's
Surah
Syria.
says Syria. Sorry, I didn't mean to mess that
Syria.
up.
Siri made a trade.
Jamal Williams for Jalen Waddle. Don't know what the team looks like, but if you're trading Williams, people need running back depth. See, that's one thing about it. When you get in a situation where your running backs become trash, you trade dudes like Jalen Waddle for dudes like Jamal Williams.
You're talking about a Matt Breida starting for me.
You trade Matt. Like, you know what I'm saying? Say Matt Breida becomes the man, then you might be able to get.
Dude, you're right. You know what? Like maybe. I mean, like if Saquon Barkley's going to take the snaps and hand it off to Matt Breida, there you go. Look, it was Rex Burkhead, Eno Benjamin, Zach Moss, our boy Brandon Bolden, Jerick McKinnon, Philip Lindsay, Darrell Williams, Sam P. Like I might as well just go for the big swing, the nut hand.
Why not?
And see what happens. Yeah.
Russell Wilson done ready to break out. He's using new terminology. Russell Wilson done and ready to break out. This is it right here. Like I told you, the Lisa Ann theory was that he's not used to the altitude, but
which was really our theory.
They have won the games at home this year. This is really it. This is really kind of it tonight for Russell Wilson.
He knew nothing else. You know, here's the thing: like he knew nothing else but Pete Carroll and the Seattle Seahawks and the offenses they ran through there. And granted they moved around a little bit, but like this is he's in a brand new system, a brand new team, and a brand new city.
If you were starting him in fantasy tonight, your level of comfort being 10 being feet up, 1 being nail biting, where would you be?
No, I would be 3. I'd say.
There you go.
I
wouldn't trust him to start him in fantasy tonight.
I wonder if would you start Zach Wilson, Geno Smith, any of those guys over him? Huh?
I don't know if Geno got as good as matchup this week. This week, the good matchup is Bailey Zappi.
Matchups, come on, man. The defenses should fear Geno Smith.
I wouldn't go that far, Nando. That was against that terrible Detroit. Oh, we did the thing again.
Oh, there we go. We swayed. Truck.
Truck. Yeah. I want somebody did that to us. I'm looking around this week. I would not start. Well, Pickett will probably be in a shootout, but he's going to throw interceptions. I'm not fooled with Jacoby Brissett.
Pickett's not really going to throw interceptions. I mean, two of those were like fluke interceptions.
He's going to throw interceptions against Buffalo this weekend.
He's a spark plug.
The point spread is 14. The Bills are excellent as double-digit favorites, so Pittsburgh's going to be playing from behind. If he throws the ball 40 times,
that's he's going to throw. All right, you're going to run into a few then. But still. By the way, Connor, sorry.
I wouldn't. You know who I would start this week? You know who I might put a couple shares for on Jock Market?
Yeah.
Carson Wentz.
All right. That's our show, everybody. Corey's got fry guy poisoning. This is seeped into his bloodstream.
Nando, the number is coming in. The Titans, all the money on the Titans.
Yeah.
But all the money on the Titans, the line moves from 3 to 2.5. Now 1.5 penny across the board. So sharp money is hitting Washington.
Yes, it is. That's interesting.
If Washington has a good game and beats Tennessee this weekend, it's going to be because of Carson Wentz or Antonio Gibson. I would make Wentz or Gibson a play of mine on Jock Market this weekend. I would not be surprised. The Commanders right now, if you want to bet them on the money line to win, is plus $1.10. You would think that'd be more, right?
You would.
So
I wonder where their faith is. I mean,
so somebody's betting Washington. Now, mind you, Washington was getting bet last week too.
yeah.
And they got blown out. So
Yes.
once again, this week, Washington's getting bet. And every week this year, we've seen Carolina get steamed up on game day. And the Carolinas might be the worst team in the league. But Washington is getting bet this week. That's all I'm saying.
I don't know, man. I don't
Maybe
know
you
if I
don't
can get
want to do
behind
it.
this.
Maybe you don't want to do it with the money line. I definitely would take a shot in jock market, though, on Wentz and Gibson.
Do you think because Gibson's like, we got to do this now, or else this is the Brian Robinson show?
And Tennessee's not that good.
I'm just saying, Gibson has to, you're staring down Brian Robinson coming back.
I feel what you're saying. But if they're going to win, that's a part of the narrative too. So there you go. So I agree with that. And if they're going to win, it's got to be the running game and Carson Wentz. It's not going to be their defense is going to be dominant.
Curtis Samuel's got a big Q next to him.
Yeah, that doesn't
That's
help.
Not good. Does not help. Maybe it's a Terry McLaurin 200-yard game breakout that we've been waiting for.
It could be the case as well.
It's got to happen at some point.
Yeah, I would invest a little bit in the Commanders this week because the way the market is moving in their direction.
Connor LaRose has a question. I would just shout out to Connor and Surrey and everyone watching on YouTube. If you want to, you can call in. If you got the app, you can just call in. I would suggest getting the app. You're more than welcome to keep watching on YouTube. But we do giveaways once in a while. We do box breaks. They get mailed to you maybe a little later if I'm doing the box break, but it's just because it's hard to find bubble wrap. But the point is, the app is actually a lot of fun, and it's super easy to call in. We already Isan called us earlier. You can be part of the show. But anyway, the question from Connor is Pierce or Stevenson and Pitts or Conklin. This is full PPR. So we start Pierce, who had a big week last week, and Stevenson, who just kind of went from preseason darling to whatever. And then Pitts and Conklin is a world of mess. What do you say, Corey?
That is the Pitts and Conklin thing. That is disastrous right there.
Yeah.
If it's come down to those two. But Todd Bowles is probably going to take away Pitts. Todd Bowles is probably going to be like Pitts.
What do you have to do? What else do you have to do to take away Pitts at this point?
Yeah, exactly. You know what? Arthur Smith might take away Pitts.
You're right. Exactly. That's already been handled.
Man, that's a tough spot. That's a real tough spot right there to have to do that. I don't know. I don't know, bro. Wow, man, Pitts has been bad. I think Conklin might be the play.
Look, Zach Wilson. That's the difference. Conklin jumped out with Zach Wilson back at quarterback.
Yeah,
that's worth something.
That's true too. Yeah.
But you're gonna bench Kyle Pitts, and that's gonna be his 32.8 point game. That's how.
And I don't want to do that to you, Connor. So I guess you would go ahead and play Pitts. I'm not going to tell you to sit Pitts, but if you do, I understand.
Right.
Pierce or Stevenson, I'd play Ramondre. I think this is a good spot for Ramondre. That Detroit Lion defense is pitiful, and Ramondre is the true weapon in that offense.
We got a question from Truck. I got Truck.
Now this is in the GST league right here.
Oh, you're playing. You can't. You got to recuse yourself.
I'm not. I recruit. Yeah. I'm redacted.
I would.
My answer is redacted. Truck.
He's going against Selfino. Do you? If you need to take down Selfino, wouldn't you use him to kind of help you?
I don't even know if Selfino's in my same division or whatever.
No, I would do. I'm still going with Carr. Oh, both you 3-1. Yeah, man. Hey, I would go with Carr. Trevor Lawrence to me is still like a guy who's not going to be a humongous, awesome fantasy quarterback. Whereas, Carr, if he gets his stuff together, has that upside, man, with Devontae Adams and all those other pass catchers.
The Texans may have something like 8 straight wins over the Jaguars.
But this is a different Jaguar. This is Doug Peterson Jaguars, man. This is not the same Jaguars. I don't think you can count like anything that's ever happened in the Jaguars' history against this year. Ever.
I wouldn't go against something like if this is an 8-game winning streak, like I suspect it could be, then I wouldn't. And you're going to lay 7 with Jacksonville? In week 5, we laying 7 with Jacksonville. That's not.
That seems.
Look what happened to the Lions last week. Same thing. Actually, lay 7 with the Lions. They give up 50 points.
Yeah, but the Lions were a decimated team that I don't think anyone thought anything was going to happen with.
Let's go back 2018, 2019, 2020, 21, 22. Let's eliminate the postseason. Let's go primary team Houston, TEX, right? Primary team Houston.
Yep. Hold on, while you do that, let me shout out the Jock Market liner. Jock Market offers live daily markets for sports that let you buy and sell shares of athletes in real time with other users, all for real money. And each share has a guaranteed payout at the end of the night, as John Legeze explained just minutes ago. You can rewind and go check that out in the app, actually, if you want to see the Legeze explanation for Jock Market. Download it now using promo code FRIENDS to receive 100% deposit match up to $100. Your first market will also be risk-free with losses refunded up to $100. Download the Jock Market app now using promo code FRIENDS. And as Corey said earlier, if you're doing it on the desktop, it's in you put that in bonus. You put friends in that little bonus.
You go to your profile and you put friends. You go to your profile at the bottom of your profile. They ask you for your name, upload a picture if you want to. At the bottom it says bonuses. You throw friends in there, and it'll double your deposit with a one-time playthrough. All right, 8-0. The Houston Texans have beat the Jacksonville Jaguars 8 straight games.
That's something else, man.
That's crazy.
It's not the Doug Peterson Jaguars, though.
Yeah, I understand you. It's not the Doug Peterson Jaguars. But still, I'm not going to step out on a limb and lay 7 with the Jacksonville Jaguars. This is the easy play to Houston right here.
All right, I will go the opposite direction because I believe in the Jacksonville Jaguars. I don't believe in Trevor Lawrence as much as a fantasy quarterback better than Derek Carr, but I do believe that the Jaguars are like a professional organization now, I guess.
We're getting rid of Urban Meyer. Does it? Meladan.
Doug Peterson shouldn't have been available, basically. Like, this is like they got very, very lucky that whatever weirdness happened in Philadelphia happened.
It's so crazy in Philadelphia how that took place. Doug Peterson didn't draft Jalen Hurts. You know what I'm saying? The organization did. I don't know.
Oh, wait a second. I just realized I was talking about Nick Sirianni. He's the Colts offensive coordinator before.
Yeah, he was.
I'm like, we don't know how he uses Nyheim Hines. We do know because that happened when he was the OC. And now he's the head coach of the Philadelphia Eagles. My bad. Sorry,
captains for tonight's showdown. I guess people are looking at Hines. We're looking at the backup tight ends. The backup tight ends period is the tightest. Could be a tight end spot. Like people talked about the tight ends, whether it's Woods, whether it's whatever. Philip Lindsay is another one people looking at.
I didn't realize Lindsay was so popular now. Now I kind of
everybody's on Lindsay.
I don't know, man.
And then and obviously if you want to pay up for your captain spot tonight, Cortland Sutton to probably have the best fantasy night tonight.
Are we overthinking it? Just not going like, hey man, this is going to be Naheem's backfield. This is going to be the Nyheim Hines backfield tonight.
Probably so. I like the Colts tonight.
A quarterback who's washed, but a quarterback who made something huge out of Devontae Freeman. Right? Like Devontae Freeman's glory years were during Matt Ryan's glory years. So I mean,
check baby.
That's it.
And that's the reason why I like Taylor so much this year, because I thought Matt Ryan would just be coming in and checking the ball down, and Taylor, that offense would be explosive. But like I told you, the Colts have a good offensive lineman in Quentin Nelson. The rest of them are trash.
Maybe Taylor.
One of the biggest things about tonight, Randy Gregory is out for the Broncos. So that pass rush is not going to be as dynamic. If that left tackle can stand up, right, along with Nelson in the middle of that lineup, I'm telling you, don't be surprised if the Colts win this game tonight.
Behind Nyheim Hines.
Yep, behind Nyheim Hines.
Running, passing, catching, whatevering. We got to go.
Yep. I'm sorry to hear that.
I know, man. What a good show. What a fast-moving good show today.
Shout out to Legeza.
Big time. Shout out to Jock Market.
Yep.
Shout out to MJ Holding Company. That's great. You even kept it in the box.
Oh, yeah, I'm keeping this joint in the box. This is the part of the show now.
I still have a humongous Kellen Moore card here, by the way.
Yeah, you got to send that to me with the jaw joint. You know what I'm saying?
I got to send it to you like a postcard. I'm just going to write your name on the bag and give it like 1 billion stamps on it.
It's time to get out of here, Nando.
Your P.O. box. All right. Thanks, everybody. We'll be back tomorrow with lots of gambling lines and some more fantasy advice. Get the app. Hang out with us. Call. Like we want you part of this. Bye-bye.